wants to start.
Knowing it was cranking and wanting to start, I called the guy who programmed the computer and asked him to come over and check things out. He made adjustments to the injectors, and the next thing we knew, it fired up and was running. Wasn't running perfectly, but it was running nonetheless. Ultimately, he had to repin the accelerator pedal and make some adjustments to the electric fans, and it was now running smooth and ready for its first drive. So it's test drive day. First time out for it. I'm very excited about it. We've obviously had it started. We've filled everything with fluids. We brought it up to temp a couple times, and it's held up really well. No significant leaks of any sort. So carpet's back in. There's still some wires hanging because I got a couple gauges I need to get dialed in, but I'm dying to take it for a ride. So here we go. So far, so good. And here we go. Shifting is nice. It's a 4L80E, and you have to dial it in with your gear ratio, your tire size, and all that so that it shifts properly. And of course we got all that input, and it feels like it's shifting well, which is good. I'm a couple miles away from home now. It's doing very well. Temperature is holding nicely, and really excited about what we've got going on here. It's been a tremendous amount of work, but boy, it's running beautifully. It's so frustrating at times, but we just stuck with it. A friend of mine, Bob, is a mechanic and builds cars. He told me one time, just accomplish something every day. Even if it's not a big thing, just get something done every day, and was able to do that, and that just keeps the project moving forward. Some days we get a lot of stuff done. Other days I got one thing done, but bottom line is the whole thing is done now, and what a sense of accomplishment. Made it to the gas station, which is another sense of accomplishment. Well, we got a full tank of gas, fired right up, which is good. Temp showing on the gauge about 195, oil pressure at idle about 50, volts 13 point something, so we're sitting pretty good. I'm not ready to cruise it per se, because I want to get back home and get into the shop and see how all the fluids are looking and see if we got any significant leaks anywhere. But this will be all said and done 7 miles probably, maybe a little bit more of its first drive. Never did that before when it had 200 horse. already got some boats in the water. It's not even April 15th yet. They're early. Probably get snow again. My thoughts on the first drive are really simple. I am thrilled beyond my wildest expectations. This was the best first drive by far that I've ever had for a build that we have done. We're not without a few issues that still need to be resolved, but they're pretty minor. There's a miss when it's under a heavy load. I expect it has something to do with the plugs or the wires, and that'll be easy to check out. The catch can isn't operating properly and has some leaking that has to be figured out and resolved. The tach and the speedometer are not working, and probably just have some wiring issue. I'll get on that. It'll be quick and easy. And the AC system needs to be hooked back up and charged. But those issues are really pretty minor when you consider the scope of the whole project, and should be able to work them out over a weekend pretty easily. The project was a ton of work and very rewarding. If you're thinking of taking on something like this, here's a little advice. And again, I'm not a mechanic. I'm mechanically inclined, but I'm not a mechanic. This is the second time I've done an LS swap. I had a lot more help on the first one than what I had on this one, but I still had help, and it was absolutely mandatory for me to have help because you can't know everything to do this stuff yourself. Research everything ahead of time. Have a plan and work from that plan. Join a forum that relates to your car or whatever. I joined a forum late in this. I found out some exceptionally key things that relate to a 55 Chevy that had I not joined it, I literally could have spent 3 or 4 days just researching. And in one quick search on the forum, I found what I needed to know. The web is your friend. I'm Googling stuff related to this project all the time. Every day when I'm out there, I'm Googling something. If you've not done it before, find somebody who's willing to be a resource for you and answer dumb questions. I asked so many people so many dumb questions. It was unbelievable, but they answer them and you keep moving forward. Another thing is it's going to cost you a lot more money than what you plan and what you think it's going to cost. Whether you go with all new components or you go with used components, or you pull something out of a junkyard and throw it into something, it's still going to cost you so much more than what you plan. I promise you that. If you're not an IT whiz and have never programmed one of these computers before, it's not easy. I am the furthest thing from an IT whiz. I would never try to do this on my own. I have a gentleman who had done this one other time for me, and he hooked me up, and his knowledge is incredible. He uses HP tuners. If you look over his shoulder, it's insane, all the parameters and all the things that need to be set up. It's not cheap to have somebody do that, but I really don't know another way around it. The best case scenario is somebody who's a friend who's done it before and will do it for you for free. There's your best advice. Another one, if you don't have a speed shop nearby you, Amazon is a fantastic resource for getting stuff and getting it to you quickly. My closest speed shop is an hour away, and unless I had a bunch of stuff to get, I just wouldn't make the trip because, it's 3 hours by the time you're down there, spend an hour and get back. And that's 3 hours of time you're not working on the car. As long as there's a lot of other stuff to do, I'd make a list, I'd hit up Amazon, it'd be there the next day, and I could keep stuff moving. Take your time. Get something done each and every time you go out there, even if it's minor, even if you only have an hour to spend, get something done, check it off the list. It's nice to see the list get smaller. Lastly, enjoy it. It is a very, very rewarding thing when you get it all done and you drive it for the first time. It's done really good things for me with patience. I've never been the most patient person when I'm working on projects, and something of this scope has really, really taught me a lot of patience. So do it, enjoy it, find others who want to help you and can be good resources. Use the web, join a forum, plan everything out, and have some fun doing it. That's it. I'm going to do a build video, but that's it for this drive.